Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee Talk this morning. How come we stand here and we say welcome to Coffee Talk and we don't have coffee? So often. It's almost like
we've been too running around to have
that's
coffee.
true. It's a busy season. It's a busy place even. We like to record these on in the mornings before things get started too much around our building, and we're often trying to sidestep this group or that meeting and you know what? That actually makes me really happy because our building is being used consistently and wonderfully, and so we're so thankful for all the people that are here. Hey, it's still Thanksgiving. Look at that.
Hey.
Here's a question for you. When was the last time you watched a really good Veggie Tales with your kids or on your own?
Oh,
and
man.
do you remember little bits of it here and there?
I do.
If you have to go back to, well, it was back in 1998.
I remember watching with my wife and kids when they were really little, and talking about
Wait,
my
when your wife was little? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, when my wife was really little. And my wife's, one of her favorite VeggieTales is "We are the pirates who don't do anything." And do you know why?
Yeah.
We are the pirates who don't do anything, because she's like, we just lie around all day long. She's like, that's what I have to do, laying in bed. And so she resonates with the pirates.
So what
who
you're
don't do
saying
anything.
is your wife is a pirate.
That's what I hear. Yarr.
She obviously does not just do nothing, but she just loved that song. So
Love you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Sorry, that came to
No,
mind.
that-
I'm sorry, Cheryl, that I threw you under the bus.
I'm
but,
glad. I'm glad for that.
Yeah. How about you?
I really don't remember. It's been a little minute. But it's probably more recent than I realized.
Yeah.
I mean, they come up every now and then, but I really couldn't tell you the date.
I don't know if I could tell you the date, but for sure when our kids are either sick at home and they're just watching a whole bunch of movies, because or when we actually go on long trips, we bring our whole case. We got them all just in a big leather case. One of my favorite songs, Larry Boy songs, not Larry Boy, Larry the Cucumber songs.
The silly
Silly
songs
songs with Larry.
Yeah.
The line goes like this. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey, even if it has a monkey kind of shape. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey, even if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey, it's an ape.
So you're saying it's educational.
It's very educational. We learned about homophones.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
children know homophones because of that.
I don't know what it is.
Because
I
when
didn't
the
watch that
crews
one.
come cruising down the plane,
Uh-huh.
homophones, where I need my kneaded biscuits plain.
So it's a homophone.
Homophone is a word that sounds the same, but it's got a couple of different ways of being spelt or different meanings, right? The
okay.
crews are
Plain
cruising.
and plain.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Homophone. I didn't know that. Thank you. Okay. Thank you,
It's-
VeggieTales.
I will for sure link in the bottom of this video some of those silly songs.
Okay.
But here's my thing about
Yeah.
if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape, if it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape.
Okay.
This is what I find a little bit when we get into some of these passages in Daniel, in some of the later prophets, in Revelation, in some of these things where they're depicting visions. And we're trying to say, okay, immediately, as soon as we hear Daniel had a vision about this, there's a thing, and there's a horn, and then there's other horns, and even this coming week, Daniel 8 is like horns with horns and goats and rams and button heads and all that.
Yeah.
And very rarely do we begin to hear that and say, okay, now who is that? I'm going to figure it out.
Very rarely don't we do that.
Very rarely don't we do that, right?
Yeah.
Immediately when
Right.
we hear that, we try and say, okay, what is this passage about? What does it mean? And how does it apply to my life? And we jump straight to that.
Yeah.
And I wonder how often God just kind of says, okay, I just need you to be patient. I need you to work with me because I feel like we are so ingrained to give me the meaning, right? Like same with Jesus when he's using parables, when he's doing, different seeds and soils and all of that. And the disciples just say, okay, fine, then what does it mean? What does it mean? Tell us what it means. And yes, I think that is important because he wants us to grow in our faith. But it seems like we're just trying to always interpret right away, right? And we're trying to say, does it have a tail? Tail? No, no tail, so it's not a monkey, right? It's an ape, right? And then throughout the Larry song, he says, oh, there's a cow, it has a tail, well then it's a monkey, right? And there's a cat over there, it has a tail, it's a monkey. Oh, that's some other, there's a bird over there. Well, it's obviously an ape because it doesn't have a tail, right? And he takes these small things and just kind of tries to shove it in.
Wow.
And I wonder just, as we work our way through some of these passages, do we do the kind of the same things? Like, do you find yourself being challenged in some of these passages to say, how does this apply to my life today? Get on with the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I even mentioned on Sunday when we talked about the beasts coming out of the sea, right? And we tend to get caught up in that imagery. I like that's a great analogy. Okay, what's the lion part, and what's the eagle part, and what's the four things, and whatever, when I realized, actually, I think part of what he's trying to evoke is the emotion. It's a chaotic sea, winds from all directions, right?
Yeah.
And chaos, and then scary things coming out, and I think, like you said, we go to the meaning instead of sitting in that emotion for a little bit. Like that, Daniel's realizing, living in a world where humans have been given authority and they turn it beastly. It's a chaotic place, it's no wonder we long for something else, right?
Yeah.
And then Son of Man, right? Son of Man comes, and he's actually, right there, right now, and that's where we can, I think that's part of it.
I think you're totally right too, that we don't always kind of even like sit down and say, okay, if I was to try and picture this, like have it being read in the background with my eyes closed, what would he be seeing? Like picture the sea, picture the turmoil.
Right.
Otherwise it just becomes, this is a crazy dream. When does it end and when do I get the interpretation? That's more what I feel like sometimes we jump to.
Right. It's easy to do that. Yeah.
There's a lot of thoughts swirling in the head.
I can see that.
In the sea.
I will say, in some ways, that chaos is all between my ears right now. But I think one of the things that comes to mind is one of the interpretive lenses for Genesis 1 is that in that picture of God hovering over the waters, that the ancient Israelite understanding of water was chaos, which you brought up, right? That's just, so when they hear water, they think danger, chaos. But then the idea that God brought order to the chaos in Genesis 1.
Right.
That's what he did.
And actually brought things out of it, right? Brought land out of it.
Absolutely. So it wasn't just, danger that emerged from the water in Genesis 1. It was what we need to live, the land on which we live. And so God is the God who tames the chaos. And I wonder how much that is because you in our passage in Daniel, right, we're kind of bringing that, like, God is the God who tames the chaos. He is over it all. Not only that, but the Son of Man, who we often understand, that's Jesus' title he used for himself. Also then does point back a little bit and we can layer that with what Paul says about, right, in Colossians, right? Jesus is the supreme of all, right? He's right, through him all things were made. That Jesus was, involved in the creative act as well. That this isn't just, God the Father who made it all, but it is the Son of Man himself who brought order to that chaos. And when we try and think through what this means for us, I do think, like you referenced a little bit, that theology of this. What is the theology of this that we need to learn? And it isn't, I think we misuse scripture when we try and understand, like apply it one for one to everything today. But it is, I think, more of a, I think what Daniel would have understood in that is, I can trust God. He brought order to the chaos in the very beginning. He's going to bring order to the chaos of my life today. And the promise is that he will bring order to the chaos in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, so when I think about what do I do with this, I think that's what I need to bring
Yeah.
it into.
Yeah.
So good.
That when my life
Yeah.
feels chaotic, God has a long history of bringing order to chaos.
Yeah.
And I can rest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's really good.
Yeah.
He is the order in the chaos.
And I love that you
Yeah.
brought up that thought of even just that theology of history rather than just, right, and we, it's always hard to know what history is when you're standing in it as well too, right? And yet,
Yeah.
that full understanding of standing here, yes, seeing some stuff around us, but like not gonna know for 50 or 100 years what this point in history truly did look like until we kind of pull this together. And that's where I do have to trust the right now with God as well
Yeah.
too, right? And
Yeah.
fully place myself in his hands for today.
Yes.
And I pray that you are doing that as well too, through your days, through your life, as we head into, you know, even the coming seasons as well too. Like we're coming out of Thanksgiving into this kind of straight shot to Christmas for many of us that, you know, it's exciting, and yet it moves, you know,
There's a lot going on.
blink of
often.
an eye.
Yeah.
What's some of the stuff what's one of the things that's happening in the next couple of weeks, Jeffrey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's funny that you use my full name, because I was talking to somebody about that. He said, "Do you ever go by Jeffrey?" And I said, no, it seems, childish to me. And he's like, "Actually, it seems the opposite to me." So
Yeah,
it's
that-
funny
I feel
how
like
we...
it's very
Is that
elevated.
because the
Yeah.
Toys R Us mascot was named Jeffrey?
Oh, maybe,
it might
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, but to me, I feel, like it's, but to him, he was like, "Actually, it's," and so I was like, "Oh, okay."
It feels British.
So I'll take it. Yeah, whatever.
I feel like you should have written a whole
Jeffrey
series
Von-
of tales.
Yeah. Back to your question, what's going on? Right now, we are collecting or encouraging you to put together Christmas boxes for the Christmas shoebox that goes to different countries, different years, and provides a gift that also has the gospel to a child that wouldn't receive it. And we just collect as many as we can, and then we're involved with the rest of West Kelowna, who then are involved with the rest of Kelowna, who then are involved with, the rest of Canada somewhere, and then it goes to these children who really appreciate it. So if you need a box, come on Sunday, get a box, or get a few boxes. We have them here, and then just bring them back when you're ready, before November 17th, right?
November
November
17th
17th,
is
yeah.
the beginning of the National Collection Week.
Yes.
We would like it to become in before that date. So
Before that,
the Sunday the
yeah.
16th
Okay.
is actually the
Oh,
best day.
perfect,
So
yeah.
leading up to Sunday the 16th, Sunday the 16th we're going to say is like
Yeah.
the day.
But yeah, if you bring them before, that's great. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a thing to come out of Thanksgiving, and always to me feels way too early to be thinking about Christmas. But we come out of Thanksgiving, we start thinking about ways that we can tangibly show love and remind ourselves that Jesus is the greatest gift, and then offer that to others.
Yeah.
And I'll have that wrapped up right before American Thanksgiving, a week before that.
Yeah, that's
so,
right. That's right.
Between the two Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
There's got to be a song that says "From thankfulness to thankfulness."
Oh, probably,
So
right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your job. You got to find one for us.
Yeah.
It's already in his head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'll be like a new Christmas song. Thankfulness to joy.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of the main thing that's kind of happening these days as we head along. There's life groups happening. There's kids ministry. There's a drama being put together. There's all kinds of stuff that's heading. Women are getting ready for their thing
Okay,
that we're going to
yeah.
talk to you about in a bit. But you can be praying for them, and we will just head towards Sunday and see you then, and trust in God with today.